Hey, team, let's see what's going on now. It's Kaz from In the Trenches with Kaz here. And just so you know, team, it just crashed. The stream just crashed. Welcome back. You're probably about to come back in then. It doesn't say we have any restrictions. I don't know if we did something or said something. Who's going to be first back? What's going to be the most witty comment? What do you think about this thumbnail here? Fantastico. You know, have you learnt anything tonight from watching the first stream of the Cappy army as they break down, trench assault by the Foreign Legion? When I mean that, I mean the Australian, British and USA chosen company. What else we got? It's Bucko. Hey, buddy, how you going?
Yeah, not bad, mate. What happened down your end?
We're back on now.
Oh.
So basically what happened is it's this is YouTube doesn't like what I'm talking about.
Oh, fair dinkum.
Yeah, I've looked it up. It says there's no restrictions anywhere. It just crashed it for us.
Oh, fucking unbelievable. All right, I can see.
It's Bucko team.
Okay, mate, sorry.
Thanks, mate.
Right.
See you, legend. Okay, so if you're watching the second one but not the first one, just to understand that what we had was a breakdown in communications. You know, sometimes YouTube doesn't like what we talk about. It says we've got no restrictions. I hope you're learning something at the moment. I hope this is opening your eyes up to the fact that this is not like a game of cowboys and Indians back in the 70s or 80s. There is a plan that's meant to go down, and the plan changes when the enemy decides that he's got a say in what happens as well. We're going to keep pushing on. I appreciate your patience, especially on Monday. Tell me why I don't like Mondays. And Mr. Bucko, it's great to have you here too. He sent a message a couple of days ago to me, and I responded and said, look, one of the things that's killing me at the moment is the fact that we've got to the stage where people are using the Russian conscripts as their entertainment, watching them getting run down by drones in this modern warfare. You know, you can hate the politicians, you know, but when someone's conscripted, yeah, it's a different thing. It's a different animal, team. Hey, Jenny, how you going? Good. Hollywood's got me loud and clear. Good to have you here again there, sir. And we've got Evan Barry. Don't think they like you, Kaz. They don't. Our views have gone right down. Subscribers have gone right down. We're being throttled, but you can't stop me now. Having such a good time. Having a ball. Let's go. Take two. And if you're at School of Infantry right now, because some of the guys made it today. They passed out of Kapooka. I don't mean passed out, hit the ground, hit the gravel in front of the families, mum and dad and Denny. On Friday, they graduated from Kapooka, the home of the Australian soldier. Tonight, they made it to the School of Infantry. Just so you know, if your timing is perfect like those guys, they're likely to have been told tonight that they're going on 2 months leave starting tomorrow. How fantastic would that be? G'day, Mordo. How you going, mate? It should never become entertainment, but it is a good training tool. Absolutely it is. If you're in an Army Reserve unit right now, or even a regular Army unit, you should be watching these videos, extrapolating the information, doing an AAR on the information in syndicates to say what could be done differently. You know? Attacks should not be happening, you know, if you do not have the manning to hit the ratio to achieve the mission. There is a force multiplier by using the drones. I get it. The passage of information, the C3, the three-dimensional battle space being controlled. You know, fantastic. You know, but guys, you know, you can't afford for people to be put in extra danger because the manning does not meet the mission. Cool and Smoky here in Sydney tonight, Kaz. Hey, Webby, how you going, mate? So you start, Webby, do you start holidays tomorrow? That's the rumour, okay? That's the rumour that the guys that got here today are going on leave tomorrow. When do you go on leave there, Webbs? Let's get to it.
Either side, they don't know if their other fire team is even alive. They improvise and push forward to meet each other where they're supposed to rendezvous. But they come up with a plan to account for all of this beforehand. If comms were down, they knew that they would fly a certain flag that signaled that they were there, and they could push that flag around corners to make sure that you knew that there was a friendly on the other side.
Friendly's on show!
Right here.
In trench warfare, grenades on your best friend. Every dark hole is screaming and begging for one of them. So they fire shots in and they frag at bunkers as they push forward.
Happy Easter. I'm looking forward to seeing what colour flag they use. I hope they're not using an obvious coloured flag. You know, there should be an SOP before the mission that it's always changing. Right? Otherwise, if the enemy gets a gist of this and they see a habit, then they might be able to replicate something and use that for confusion or deception.
They're able to recover Russian radio systems, which is useful for intelligence collection. They recover grenades and other equipment as well. The plan is to pull off what's called a pincer maneuver here. What that means is that Alpha Squad on the left tries to move up as Bravo Squad on the right aims to push them in together and funnel the enemy into one location. Then, once they're there, they plan to throw grenades onto the enemies until they surrender or are eliminated. The two teams almost have a friendly fire incident with one another, but they're able to communicate through old-fashioned shouting so that they know to stop firing.
Friendly! Friendly! I don't want to hit friendlies. No.
Because at this point, Alpha and Bravo, the two fire teams, are able to link up with one another, and they know that they've now cleared that whole trench. They search the fallen body of a Russian PKM gunner, and as the International Legionnaire soldier searches him, he says, as a cold, candid moment,
Bad day at the office, mate.
Then a Canadian International Legionnaire fighter and gets hit by an enemy FP.
Aussie humour right there. I like this guy. He's calm. I wonder if he had military experience before this. He's doing a great job. You know, his courage is clearly there. Get the Ukraine, American and Australian perspective. Yep. And at the moment, we're also doing a reaction of a reaction. Cool Smoker here in Sino. So Webby, AU's going on leave now. At the rate of 10,000 drones a month, it definitely is a force multiplier. Absolutely terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. You're not going to outrun those bastards. You know, what was I going to say? Something witty before. Sorry, Kaz, I'm too old and wrong line of work for the Skippy badge next time. Ah, that's all right, mate. As long as someone steps up, we're good. Birdman, I was watching the other one and it cut off. Thanks for keep going, Kaz. Really enjoying these style of videos. No problems at all, mate. You know, it's what we're here to do. Give the information so people aren't going in blind, right?
TV drone strike.
Holy
You all right?
Jesus.
This whole battle happened early in the war between 2022 and 2023 when the skies weren't yet filled with drones that might have prevented an assault like this from even happening. But Canadians are tough as hell, and he survived just with his bell rung. At this point, from interview footage with the International Legion, they said that the Russians started launching artillery with poison gas rounds at them, but the gas blew away from their position because the wind was blowing away, which kind of shows why poison gas never became a huge, frequently used weapon after World War I. Having cleared both trenches, though, they exfiltrated from there later on. They loaded back up on the Humvees and eventually left. No killed in action in this whole trench assault for the Ukrainian side.
If you played out that 10 times in a row, there is no way they would have come out of it again with no friendly KIA or injured. Incredible. You know, I would say more luck than skill. You know, never assume that who you're going against is useless. You might just find one day that you go against someone you didn't expect. We even saw Rome on numerous times get their absolute arse kicked, their bell rung over and over again when they thought they were in a position, even dominating the enemy numbers at battles like Cannae, at the Battle of Aliyah, my daughter's name. Okay, so don't assume.
And only 2 or 3 soldiers wounded in the battle. Even though this battle was over just a tiny piece of ground, fights like this determine how far any front moves. Since then, Russia has taken back the land here a few meters at a time over the past 2 years. Since then, Chosen Company continues to fight in Ukraine. Ukraine is, of course, on the back foot right now. This video is not meant to give the impression that they're winning the war. This is an analysis of some of the best footage of trench warfare from drone angle, from multiple GoPro angles on the ground that I could find. It's a textbook example of assaulting a fixed position that I think should be taught today in classrooms. Be sure to check out their...
Okay, so go to Cappy Army's channel, subscribe to that while you subscribe to ours, and understand this is the information that's coming on the ground now to show the complexities and also the evolution of the battle space in today's modern warfare arena. And also you have to add the resource that people forget, and that is courage. You can have all the understanding, you can have all of the knowledge, but when it comes to courage, sometimes you won't know until you're on the battlefield itself. And then it comes down to, did you trust your training? That's why we should never drop standards. That's why we shouldn't allow people into our team that don't belong there, that can't do the job. This is a gender-driven tribe. Can't be apologetic about that. Ladies, this is not your dance, Right, so let's jump out of there for a second. Fantastic job. Thank you, Cappy. And if you look at this to see if I'm just trolling your channel, I'm not. Fully respect. I watch almost all your videos, mate, so keep going. Right, and now to you, legends. What we got? Lightfoot, g'day, mate. Getting the Ukrainian, American, and Australian specific. Yep, sorry, Kaz. Yep, Birdman. I was watching the other one and it cut off. Yep, thank you. Spunky. If there's no prior military experience going over there, what's the training like to prepare you for that? That's a scary one. I'd say a lot of it is actually coming from basically these international legions, that are doing on-the-job training for those to the left and right, mentoring, command, while they're on the ground, helping them with IAs, how to do it faster, how not to make mistakes, little things like pushing the machine gun to the right as you feed the tray so that the gravity doesn't stop them from falling, and causing an immediate action as soon as you slam the feed cover closed. Little things like don't carry 200 rounds that give an extra IA. How many rounds should you be carrying? What about the exfil drill? The summary for this is, I don't like this attack at all. I don't. It is an attack that's being done at daylight with no pre-softening of that position, with no covering fire, onto these trenches, no indirect fire on these trenches. So there was a lot of luck involved. And when you're approaching, with soft-skinned vehicles and into an engagement area with no protection, from PKMs, RPGs, indirect fire, if any of that was accurate, these guys wouldn't have even made it through an engagement area. I'll give you a tip. If these guys had been attacking an Australian platoon, or even an understrength platoon of 20, those vehicles wouldn't have even made it, to the front line. They wouldn't have made it to actual, what was the name? What was the name of that trench system? Yeah, they wouldn't have got there. Yeah. Glad you're back. Thanks, Braden. God bless these guys. They're in harm's way every day. When you go to sleep, when you wake up, remember there is a level of peer-on-peer combat that's happening, with drone warfare, with indirect, with politics, with all of these things, and you can't just turn it off and come home. It doesn't work that way. Hey, Kaz, random question. Have you ever had CAV, SBF, support by fire for you in a deliberate assault? Yes, I have. If so, how good is that 25mm? It is epic. The fact that you've got the SBF, ABFs occurring as well from snipers. You've got indirect fire from mortars. If you haven't, because you don't want to contest the airspace with air assets and also indirect. With artillery, artillery is the most epic thing to have going over your head. Right? It's also good to know that there's medevacs, Kazovacs ready to go. It's great to have DFSW, direct fire support weapons. hitting that target. So by the time you get there, the old saying is all the infantry's job should have to be is to count the bodies. Hey mate, just joined the New Zealand Defence Force as an infantryman and just want to say I've really enjoyed your content so far, really good insight. Hey, thank you very much there, Sebastian. Okay, so you're in the Royal New Zealand Defence Force, infantryman. So NZ, Royal New Zealand Infantry Regiment. I've got something to show you, mate. Is it just here? What battalion do you go to? 1st Battalion North Island or 2nd 1st Battalion South Island? I've got something to show you. Where is it? Here it is. If you're in the 2nd 1st Battalion, I don't know if they're still selling them to you, but look at that. Bam. That's what I got when I was on exchange there. Kura Takahipuni, which means we are ready. That's their battalion tie. Beautiful. Love those guys. And for a while, they loved me too. All the best there, mate. I believe that one of the New Zealand battalions should actually be moved to Australian soil so that we can subsidise your wages as well. Yeah. That would probably be the 2nd 1st Battalion. Yeah, they've got the 1st Battalion up north. Hey, Jono, Kaz, I'm on track to join, but early next year. The only thing I'll be back is in 2027. That's not here yet. I haven't already paid for a trip to see my grandmother, likely for the last time. Well, that's more than a year away. That should be fine, mate. That should be fine. 1st Battalion, so he's in the North Island, which means you're not going to be near Tekapo. You're not going to be near the West Coast, you know, where the jungle is. Dutters. Hey, Kaz, did you ever hear about a streaker at a cricket match at the 2nd 1st Battalion? It may have been me, Dutters. It may have been me. Might call Aaron Dixon tomorrow and see if he wants some seafood. Yep. I did a streak at a cricket game in 1992, I think, or it was 92 or 93, to try and get a 6-pack of beers for the rest of the platoon. They didn't take it well. And when I came back, my pants were missing. There you go. Not sure if I should risk joining and not being able to leave to go and see her. No, go and join the military. She would want you to do it. You know, and guess what? Old people die. That's what happens. Celebrate the life. You know, it'd be better for her to see you doing something with your life than waiting in the fucking push-up position for her to eventually go. That's going to look even weirder. Make her proud, mate. 94. Bam. It was 94, was it? There you go. Braden, I feel you. I'm getting married in Melbourne, January 2027. I'm just testing my luck on it, probably been heading in the next few months. Okay, there you go, Braden. There you go. You just let them know from the start and everything will be A-okay. It'll all work out. What we got? How long have we been on for? I think it's almost a wrap, team. You've been very loyal tonight. I hope you've enjoyed the video from yesterday that came out at 6 o'clock at night. People are going to be looking at this going, what the hell is going on? There's 2 videos of a similar subject. Right. So in summary, team, I hope you enjoyed the breakdown of the Cappy Army as he spoke to us and done a reaction to Chosen Company as they did the assault, you know, on the Russian position. The fact that they had about 20 guys going and attacking 20 guys, your ring gear would be absolutely making coal into diamonds. You'd be shitting yourself. That's a game of chance you don't want to repeat too many times, I tell you now. Well, as Sebastian says, 1st Battalion is merging with QARM Armoured. So, yep, okay. So I'm expecting a bunch of exercise in Australia to get us some combined arms experience. I'd love to be posted in Australia. Mate, it'd be good to have you here. I'm glad I said it before you said it. So now you know I agree as well. Cheers, Kaz. Take it easy, lads. All the best there, Hollywood. See you later. And tomorrow, you know, always say a little bit of a prayer and a thank you to life. You only get this once. Don't do anything reckless with it. You know. And as for, do you have the calling to join the military? if you're even thinking in any way, geez, I'd love to go over and help in Ukraine, that is because the beast within, okay, is after a calling, task and purpose. So do it under a flag, you know, that at least has got your best interests at heart, you know, and I hope Mickey Flowers over there stays safe. But Australia, you know, we're a noble army, and hopefully, you know, what we do is take up the fights that matter. Let us know in comments later, do you think it's time for NATO or other countries to step in and say to Putin, that's it. If you don't pull out, you know, or come up with an agreement real fast that also suits the Ukrainian people, maybe it's time for the bully to get a blood nose. Don't know. But the people that vote for you to go over there to fight have to be people that are willing to carry the bayonet and the rifle as well. No one should be allowed to vote as a non-combatant on who fights and dies. See you later, team. Take it easy. God bless you. And they shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. And at the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember them, to all of those Ukrainians and Russian conscripts that are not there.